Elisa, you there?
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you, gorgeous?
I'm very good. How are you guys doing?
Good, and I'm so upset because I wanted you on camera because you're like,
I know.
because you're so freaking hot.
I'm not really very hot right now. I'm working from home, so I haven't been hot in a month.
Well, I don't know about that. You know what? I have to say, and and Monique will agree that you're a beautiful girl.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Monique.
Hi, baby.
That's very sweet.
And I know that you posted us talking about you on Facebook, and
yeah.
I hoped you weren't mad at us.
I forgot what it was, but I forgot what you said. Someone.
I was saying how lucky Benjy was. Like you give ugly guys like me and Benjy hope that we can get a hot girl like you.
Well, how do you have hope? Because we never dated.
Well, not me, but I mean Benjy.
Yeah, just Benjy. Yeah. No, yeah, he should have a lot of hope. He's a great guy. He's very good looking. His face, he's a beautiful face, and he's a great personality. Benjy's got it all.
Do you still talk to him?
Yeah, every day. He's like a really great person in my life. I'm really blessed.
Oh, good. Well, I love Benjy, so please give him my best.
I will. I'll tell him you said that.
Oh my God, Elisa, we have so many questions. I have to just tell you.
I can't wait.
I posted, I just sent a little, I didn't post it in my forum, but I sent just a little text out to some of my other cohorts on Radio Gunk, and everybody has questions for you. A lot of them pertain to Benjy, obviously, but people really want to know a lot of stuff about you, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty open. Like, what are the questions?
Well, wait a second. Benjy's still on the show, right? He's still writing for him.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I just didn't know because now that they're doing it from like Howard's house, I didn't know.
Yeah, we haven't heard from him at all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I haven't listened in, I want to say like a really long time, but I know Benjy's definitely still working there. He still has the same job.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's happy.
So will you help us? Will you help us with some rumors that, have always been swirling around? We have a couple of questions.
I'm good with Benjy rumors because I know pretty much everything about Benjy. I pretty much know. I don't think there's anything that I wouldn't know about him.
Okay, cool. So one of the big rumors we have always had is that the reason that Benjy still has a job there, and I've heard from other people that no, you're wrong. He's really funny. He writes a lot of content for the show.
He does.
But because Benjy's sister is such a big shot from this actors and performing arts kind of coalition.
Yeah. So I can answer that. Benjy will probably hate that I'm answering this, but so his sister works for charity, like a charity organization. So if anything, it's the other way around. Benjy was an intern, and you know how rare it is, to be an intern and to move up the way he did.
And parlay it, right?
In fact, she did not get him the internship. I know the guy that got him the internship, and he's not in the entertainment industry. He's a guy, I don't know if this is true, but it's a college friend was helping Benjy with his resume. It's just a college friend or something. I don't know if this is exactly right, but he was helping with his resume. Benjy's like not the most organized guy in the world. He's not the type to, type up a nice resume that's all neat and perfect. And the guy is Benjy's really good friend. And he sent it in, and he's an intern, and he's a brilliant guy. You can't really fake that for 25 years. That's the thing. Benjy, he's one of a kind. There's no one else like him.
Is there any chance that you'll get back with Benjy?
He doesn't want me back. So no, I probably won't be with him.
And now, I know the last time we spoke, you've been dating a lot of celebrities.
Not recently. I used to enjoy that, but not really recently. It's funny. Once I moved into LA, I didn't really. It's very hard dating here. It's like almost impossible.
But wait,
weird place to date.
I mean, like you're
a regular guy.
You're an open book. Like you won't mind me mentioning, the names, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Vin Diesel, Ethan Hawke, and David Blaine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
so my favorite.
And out of all of them, including Benjy, who was the best in bed?
I don't think guys in general are good in bed. I love Benjy the most.
There you go, Elisa. Very good answer. I love it.
You know, it's so goddamn true. You literally, it's like holding a child's hand crossing the street.
No, but even if you hold their hand, even if you tell them exactly what to do, they can't do it. They just really can't. They don't understand. I feel like I haven't been on any show in years, but you know, I was with a guy recently, and I thought he was going to be like really great because he has a great personality.
Oh.
He's really, but not a famous guy, just a regular guy.
Oh, okay.
So he has a great personality. He's like real hot looking, awesome, like just my perfect type, my exact type. I'm like, this is going to be amazing. I was so excited. I was so excited to be with this guy. I bought like all like new like lingerie and clothes, and I did my hair, and I did.
I already hear the disappointment in your voice. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is not a happy story, okay? So you know, we get together. He takes me to a park. We have a really nice day. We eat. He orders sushi, like the best sushi. I'm like, this is gonna be good. I'm getting really excited. I took a Xanax so I wouldn't be too anxious. You know, it was just going perfectly. And God
damn it, he went for the Toro tuna. He's gonna be fucking good.
yeah. I'm really relaxed. I'm not gonna be like all tense or anything. Anyway, the guy comes on so strong. It's like he didn't give me any space. Guys don't realize that you can't come on so strong. The girl has to want you. The girl will not want you if you're all over them. You need to give them space to like desire you. He didn't give me any room to have any desire for him, and it was a big turnoff. And I feel like guys, they're like, oh, I just gotta try. This is my last chance. This is my last day on earth. They're acting like they're not gonna be living another day. Like they just have to do it today. And that's
well, based on the pandemic, that could actually be true. So
that's what they've been like that forever, even before Corona.
But Elisa, is this that shitcock guy or whatever his name was?
No. That was years ago.
Oh my God, that was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah. No, he was okay. He was fine. I mean, he didn't even really like me that much. Another thing is, I like when a guy is very like obsessed with me. So that's another problem in LA. There are so many choices for these guys that they don't really care. Like, they don't seem to care. They don't put in a lot of effort. Usually.
Well, they're so fucking self-centered and self-important. Yeah. How could you possibly?
Exactly.
Oh, wait.
You must live here, Monique. Where do you live?
I live in Manhattan, but I
it's the same
dated thing. LA guys, and I have many friends who have, the same story as you.
Let me ask you, Lisa, just be honest here. Out of all the four guys that we know, who was the worst in bed?
Oh boy.
David Blaine, Ethan Hawke, Vin Diesel, or Benjy Bronk?
Okay, it's hard to think of that. I mean, Benjy I like the best out of anybody that you would name. Like, I always like Benjy the best because at least he had some effort. These famous guys, they don't put in a lot of effort.
But you also lived with Benjy, so that's different. That's like a long-term thing.
Yeah, but hold on, Elisa. All right, out of the three celebrities, who was the worst?
I don't remember most of them. Like,
there you go.
That's how bad they were. Yeah, like I can't even think of a celebrity. I wish I had a celebrity that I could tell you I was with that was good.
All right, who had the bigger dick? David Blaine, Vin Diesel, or Ethan Hawke?
I don't think I should answer that, but I don't even like a big one. They're invasive. I would prefer a small one. If anything, the big ones are too invasive, and
that's why you were with Benjy.
No, Benjy's very nice. Benjy has a beautiful everything. He's gorgeous.
I'm amazed. I have to tell you, I'm amazed at that. I've seen countless pictures of you and he and him with the eyeliner and the platform shoes, and there you are looking all fucking hot. And there's basically a guy who almost looks like a piece of wet mozzarella cheese with a baseball cap on, and you're totally like loving him. And we just never understood that dynamic. I mean, it's kind of like Beth with Howard, but not so much.
Monique, are you married? Are you single?
I am married to a lawyer, and
you sound so excited about it, doesn't she, Elisa?
Yes, you sound thrilled. Yeah.
So, Elisa,
how's that going?
Elisa, please promise me that you stopped the plastic surgery.
What? I just got started.
Please, come on. Don't do
Elisa,
that.
first of all.
No. I wish I could do it right now, but they actually closed everything. You can't even get plastic surgery if you wanted to right now.
But wait a second. the first thing you did was that you got a nose job, and I told you not to because I thought you looked perfect.
Yeah, I didn't like my nose. I always people always commented on it and like made fun of me in school, like when I was a kid. So that kind of stuck with me my whole life. And so then once I was in front of people, I just didn't want to hear about it anymore. And people were like, always trolling me. I'm sure you know what that's like. And it got to me. It did.
Absolutely. I'll never forget when I first started doing these podcasts, and I was really good friends with Grillo, and I said, God, people are just coming after me all over the place on Twitter. At the time, I think I was still on Facebook. I deleted that account. I even deleted all of my shit off of LinkedIn. And he's like, you have to have dragon skin to do this, because people always want to take you down. They just want to take you down to fucking size, and they want you to notice them. And because hate is as good to them as love is. So they're happy with you hating them. As long as you're giving them the attention of the hate, it's the same thing as love to them. Exactly the same. And once I learned that and understood it, I was like, fuck it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think those people are happy that are,
no, they're miserable fucks.
They don't even know. Like, that's what I always think. I would never spend any time on that. I can't imagine, watching a show. First of all, I would never watch a show I don't like. Okay. So I wouldn't spend any time doing that. If I don't like a show, I just turn it off. And then if I hate the people on it, it's like, why go further with that? Because it's really just bad for you. It makes you angry. It makes you upset. Like, I wouldn't spend any time on anything that made me feel that way. So I just feel bad for those people. And at first it was kind of funny, like on my podcast, it was only people like that. Like a lot of the Howard Stern fans were very I noticed they have like something in common. Not everybody, but a lot of people were just so like mad at the world.
Stern fans are angry. They are. They're angry as a lot.
Yeah.
Elisa, Marvin Hinman asked a question: Is Vin Diesel gay or bi?
I don't think he's gay or bi, because I mean, I don't.
Where'd you meet him?
Why does he think that? So in New York City, when I was a lot younger, I would go to nightclubs and just like I would just walk around. I was very excited by the nightlife there. Just walk around, and I was so friendly, and I had no fear back then. I would go up to anybody. So I probably went up to him actually.
And then how'd you meet David Blaine?
Oh, I met him in the best way. So I was, it was right after he
appeared into her.
I know.
No. So I was walking down the street, like right after he had some kind of big special. I think it was the one, he was like buried or something. And I was walking down the street, and he came up to me and he asked me if I knew who he was. And I said, no. Yeah, even though I saw him the day before. Yeah. And he asked me who I was. I said no, and we had a lot. We really connected. He was, brilliant guy, really smart guy. We played chess. Like, I love when guys are smart like that, and they can, do that. And,
he's a bit cerebral though for me. And whatever happened to him, by the way? Where is he?
Well, he just had a huge special on. A huge one, like on ABC. And another thing is, he really loves music, and I used to play.
I taped it, but it disappeared.
Yeah. Hey,
Elisa. Well, how about how'd you meet Ethan Hawke?
He was my neighbor.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, in the city?
Yeah, in the city.
Didn't he live like on the Upper East? I used to see him all the time.
So when I met him, he lived in Chelsea, but it was a very similar situation where I just walked outside and there he was. In New York, it's easy to meet people. I was very friendly and open to meeting people more so than now. So I met a lot of.
I have questions, John. You gotta push the who did she bang thing aside just for a few minutes.
Okay, but wait, no, I just gotta ask.
Okay, so we have a question, and Howard did this book, Howard Stern Comes Again. And did you hear the whole thing that went on air where Benjy was actually genuinely upset that he wasn't either thanked and or mentioned in the book, which I don't blame him, by the way. And I feel like that was like this weird turning point for Howard, because he actually got angry with him because he went to Buchwald about it and said, I deserve at least some sort of recognition because half the questions that he, asks people and half of the, one-liner jokes that he throws in while he's asking these questions are mine. Why don't I get any credit for it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think
what's the question?
Well, the question is, do you think that was like a turning point for like the Benjy Howard thing, because he really doesn't have Benjy in anymore at all. And we all kind of felt like at that moment, how dare he go to Buchwald, that was kind of like a little bit of Benjy's off of my favored person list.
Well, when you're working for someone that's like that, you just can't expect anything from them at all, right? So
Right.
I've worked for a lot of people that are, well known and very wealthy and like the best in their field. I think just a good thing is just expect nothing and less, So if they do anything for you, then just be happy. I don't know. I hope Benjy isn't like too bothered by that, but why would you expect anything from someone that everybody wants something from? Like literally, I'm sure every day Howard gets calls. People want money, people want jobs, people want promotion. How annoying would that be? I hate that.
Well, it's not like he has to field the calls himself. I mean, let's be honest. He had 70 people working there. Pretty sure it goes through about 40 different filters before Howard even knows about it. I kind of feel like he lives in a little plastic bubble now, where nothing nothing gets to him. Nothing, unless it's another celebrity. Wouldn't you want to live in
that bubble?
I would not want to live in that fucking bubble. No.
I would. I don't want a bunch of weirdos like hitting me up all the time for money and jobs and anything that they could possibly get, from me. I mean, I felt kind of like that in different ways before, and it's not a good feeling.
How do you know, Elisa, that Benjy doesn't or wouldn't take you back?
Because I always ask him. I do, because he calls me every day. He calls me every day.
So you ask him. So you say, "Hey, Benjy."
Yeah, I'm like, you sound like you miss me. I always said, like, you sound like you miss me. Oh, you're asking. Like the other day, you asked me something. What was it? It was something like, about the vet. Like my dog went to the vet. He's like, how did that go? And he just asked me so many details about it. Like this guy loves me. He loves me. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why he doesn't want to be back with me. But
but would you move back to New York, or how would that even work out?
No, especially now. No way. I love it here. I love LA.
And no, Elisa, just because people are interested, what are you working on now? What are you doing?
So I'm actually in financial services. So totally different. I don't really.
Wow, totally different. So when you first moved out there, you were working at that place that Lisa Vanderpump.
That matchmaker.
Yes. So I was a huge. I also worked for her. So so Benjy and I were going very badly at this one point, like horribly. Couldn't be worse. And I needed to get away, and I needed to find something something different, nothing that involved him. Because I worked with him, and then I got my podcast, and I did that with him, and then it just went so bad. So I wanted to find an opportunity, and then I saw an opportunity on Twitter from Lisa Vanderpump, who I was a huge fan of. She's one of the Real Housewives. I don't know if you guys know her.
Yeah, yep, of course.
So I wrote to her, and right away, minutes later, I got an email back saying that they'd be interested in having me on the show Vanderpump Rules. And I was like, oh, wow. So I basically left the next day. I moved out immediately to do that, And so I'll never forget it. It was really fun. We met at Barney's. I met Lisa Vanderpump at Barney's, and she had her big hat on, and she had a dog, and she wanted me to bring my dog. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to get you on the show. I just have to integrate you with the cast. I said, okay, I could do that. But, I tried. And I tried to you either have to be dating someone on the show or have a fight with someone. By that time, I was just too old and too kind of tired to do that kind of thing. I just couldn't think of any fights, and it just didn't work.
So you had to manufacture drama, basically.
Yeah, and I had been doing that,
yeah,
on my show. On the Howard Stern show, I did stuff like that, and it was just years of that. It's like I needed to retire and just do something completely different. Yeah.
Oh, didn't you work for that other girl that I went to one of those parties, the matchmaker chick?
Yeah, Patty Stanger. Yeah, I used to work for Patty Stanger after that, and she's the biggest matchmaker.
She was.
Throw her.
She pulled the big Hollywood thing on me, Monique. I went to the party that Elisa had invited me to, and she totally was not nice, blowing me off. And then as soon as she found out who I was, whatever, then she was like, "Oh, hi, I'm so sorry, I didn't know who you were."
Of course,
that should mean anything.
Yeah, she's like that. I think she was tough to work for. Let me just tell you that. She was
I know.
very hard to work for. She actually, I can't even say, it was just so, like, it was really hard. And after that, I was like, I just got to do something normal now. Like, I want to be a normal person. I'm sick of, like, first, like, being trolled, like, being made fun of constantly all day,
Yeah.
And then working for these, like, people, like, the entertainment industry is just so, it could just, like, it hurts. A lot of things are really hurtful about it. You work so hard, and then, like, people, they just, like, try to destroy you. I was like, I just got to get, like, a normal thing. And it's funny, like, I got, a job that I didn't think I would care a lot about. I wasn't naturally drawn to it or anything, but it ended up being the best possible thing to happen to me because I'm still connecting with people every day. My clients are my friends. I love them. And, I'm just, like, more happy now because I think I was too attached, like, to being on the radio or being in a band. Like, I was so attached. That was, like, my lifelong dream. And so I could be more hurt by that. Like, this is, just a regular thing.
Well, listen, Elisa, I'm happy that you came on, and the next time you come on, the next time that you come on, you got to come on camera because everybody has to see your pretty face.
Oh my God! What you really have to do is also come on my show so we can actually grill you about Howard Stern stuff, as opposed to John's superficial need for you to be on the show so that he can look at your tits. That's basically what he's going for.
Well, no. I mean, I don't know what else. What do you want to grill her about, Monique?
I don't want to grill her, sweetheart. I just want to have a conversation with her about her.
I have a question for you guys. Do you guys like Howard Stern? Because it didn't sound like it when I logged in here.
So I'm going to go with, for my podcast, which is Radio Gunk, we probably don't. I would say that John has a love-hate with him. So there's and we differ in a couple of ways. Obviously, John worked there, so he has a different take on things that happened there, and his historical stuff that went on the show is fucking priceless. We, on the other hand, are a bunch of disenfranchised fans who just decided that he's changed so much that we don't really like and or appreciate who he's become. Basically,
do you enjoy talking? Like, is that a passion of yours to be upset with him, or like,
not really? You know what?
No,
we podcast when we feel like it. We don't monetize it, so we don't really care about it for money purposes. I don't need the money. I don't care about it. So I just do it because I can.
Well, you got that hot lawyer.
Yeah, well, that's true. And so I do it because I can, and because it doesn't and because people like to hate on him now, and it's easy to hate on him now. So, and I won't even say really hate, because I save hate for, like, family. I don't know him to hate him, so it doesn't, hate's a strong word for that. But I would just say that there's a lot of fans out there who are disappointed with who he's become, and don't really get the man that is today. That's all.
But Monique, what did you want to? I mean, because I've let you ask as many questions as you want. So what else?
What about, like, John? What about you though? Like, what is your what makes you so upset with Howard? Like, why are you?
Oh, I don't. I know, like I've said, and I just said on this podcast. I mean, obviously, I'm always going to love the dude, but I mean, I just think the way he's treated people, like Scott the engineer. He got fired, right?
No, but, like, why? Like, did he treat you so badly that you just can't let it go?
No, I could let it go, but then yet, he said a lot of horrible things about me, Elisa. I mean, really, really badly, and he made it very difficult for me at Jay Leno, and he trashed me and said really, really, mean things, and even when I was there telling me to abort my kid because I'm not fit to be a father. I mean, he's been horrible to me, but at the same point, there was a lot of times that we hung out and actually.
What hurt you the most that he did?
Handling the way I left and making it very difficult for the Tonight Show, and making it very difficult for me in my new position. And, it wasn't. He didn't handle it like a man. He didn't handle it professionally. He handled it like a little baby. And then he trashed me ad nauseum, with Adam Carolla. Then he trashed me. He just kept trashing me. So at some point, if you kick me, a few too many times, I'm going to fight back. So that's essentially.
Okay. So do you think it's benefiting you to hold on to this?
Well, I mean, like, I came out with the book, and I had to be honest. I had to, like, it's just like, look, and you don't have to be candid about this, but I've talked to a lot of people there, including Benjy. Like, I mean, and when Benjy and I were there, they wouldn't give Benjy and I a writing credit, even though that we were writing, because they were afraid that we'd ask for a raise. I mean, look, Benjy's experienced a lot of the bullying that Howard has put out there, and I have, and and a lot of people have, Jackie and Billy, and so it's one of those things. At some point, Elisa, like, if you worked for me for 15 years and I kept calling you everything from a loser to all you can do is be beautiful to an ingrate, and just constant, and put you down and say that you can't be a parent, and like every other day call you a loser, you don't think that's going to take some effect upon your psyche?
It would, but what I just always think when I see people that are so angry with him, I always just think that just doesn't serve you at all to hold on to. You're probably holding yourself back because of all the anger.
Yeah, but
directed at a person that does not probably even care at all.
Well, no, like, cause that's the other thing that you don't know. Like, the last time that he mentioned me, he was trying to discredit all the work that I did for him and saying that, I didn't really do much there. It's like shit like that when,
But you know that you did. You know that you did a lot. You know that you contributed.
I know that. So then why, like,
funny.
No, and I appreciate it, Lisa, but I'm just saying, like, why? Like, it's just like if Benjy left and then Howard said Benjy was nothing to him. Now, both you and I know that Benjy, and I've said this before, and I've said it to Benjy. Benjy and I had a great conversation. It was quite a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I said to Benjy, Benjy, you could write for the Tonight Show, like, because I think Benjy's a talented guy. So, but like, I know that Howard tries to make him look like he's not, and I don't know, and I could see that when Benjy leaves, that there's going to be some feeling of resentment for the way he was treated. I'm not saying he told me that, but I could see it happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I mean, I've listened to the show before, obviously, and I hear people making fun of each other, but I just don't see it helpful at all to be holding on to something from somebody that if somebody's really bad to you. See, I know he's a very famous and successful guy, and that's probably part of the reason. I'm sure there's people that have been worse to you that you don't talk about, as much as you talk about Howard, just because he's always in the news. He's so successful.
You know what? Honestly, Elisa,
it's interesting.
My father was abusive. He was a great guy, but then he would beat us up, and then Howard is the same thing. He was a great guy, and then he'd beat us up. So, as far as people who've treated me badly, Howard's up there. He's probably in the top 3.
Well, and let's be honest, in terms of people treating anybody badly, they wouldn't really draw people in to listen to us, now would they? I mean, the reality is, I have no problem admitting that the entire reason that I do this entire thing is because of the Howard thing and the people that it gains me as listeners. That said, it's using the demographics and the psychographics of what we currently have as our viewership. It's really hard to find something else that a middle-aged guy living in Minneapolis really gives a shit to talk about besides guns, trucks, NASCAR, sports, and Howard. And let's be honest. So yeah, that's why I do it.
But anyway, so Monique, did you want to ask Elisa or anything else? Because I do want to. I do have to move on to the songs and to my sponsors. And Elisa, I know you got to go back to work. So is there anything else that you want to ask?
No, I'm good.
All right, Elisa.
Yeah.
I told you that I'll be in your area soon, and because my office is down there. So let's have lunch or a few drinks or something, and and catch up.
Aren't we quarantined right now?
Yeah, I mean after. Yeah, no, Elisa.
I wish I could, John. I really wish I could. I was dying to meet you, but I mean, we just can't.
No. I don't mean now. Yeah. I don't mean now. I mean after the quarantine is over.
I mean that might be like 2 to 3 years, but yeah, then we should do it.
All right,
let's have lunch.
Elisa, Please do Monique's show too, and then I'd love.
I would
to have
love
you
to.
back.
Monique is so sweet. I really love her. I love her. She's my
I
favorite.
love
on
her
the show.
too, and I would hope to have you on the on the show where we could actually see you.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Oh wait,
What?
oh wait, Elisa, just one last question. What other plastic surgery did you do besides your nose?
Nothing yet. I told you I want to do more, but I'm being held back right now by the law. What?
Please don't. I'm begging you.
All right.
All right, sweetie.
All right. Thanks for the advice.
Bye.
It.
Bye.
Bye.
Elisa Jordana, isn't she charming? And I thought that was fun. Did you like that, Monique?
I have to tell you, I like when she turned it around on us to find out. I mean, I don't see myself as being like weirdly hateful or resentful. I mean, some of my co-hosts are a little bit more so than I am, but it's what it doesn't pay the fucking bills, but it brings me pleasure to do. And like anything else, when it stops being fun, I'll stop doing it.